leadership is really a gift, and it's a gift given to you by those willing to support you. I think a lot of our representatives or so-called leaders maybe forget that lesson. And so I want to tell you why I'm actually here. I know that's why y'all came. My story started a long time ago. It was a difficult path. I think my first test was I lost my mother when I was 10. And I learned how to be strong because of that. I learned that from her. And with that strength, I decided I wanted to become a Navy SEAL. And, you know, geez, that was about since I was 12 years old. Read a book, and I was hooked. And you hear that story a lot from SEALs. It's not something you just kind of, well, maybe I'll try that today. And so that's what I did. Ended up in ended up in Fallujah, ended up in Ramadi on my third deployment, Afghanistan, all of SEAL Team 3. And that's where my path took a shift. About 6 months into the deployment, I was hit by an IED blast when one of my Afghan interpreters stepped on a pressure plate right in front of me. And the poor guy was dismembered right in front of me. And I was blinded, I was thrown to the ground, didn't know what happened just yet. I survived, I was conscious, I remember the whole thing, but I was blind. I woke up from a medically induced coma about 6 days later, had my friends by my side, got flown back to Bethesda eventually, had my wife by my side, and we prayed and we had faith and we knew that I would see again, despite what the doctors were telling us. And they were not optimistic. But I was, and I was right, and I saw again out of my left eye. It's complicated, but I saw again. Yeah. And I also decided to keep deploying. I wasn't ready to accept a new path of public service just yet. I wanted to keep doing what I was doing. And that was back to the Middle East and then back to Korea in 2016. And I was medically retired at the end of 2016. And I went on to do my master's in public policy because I just care about policy and I think that's how I can make my impact. And I was willing to kind of accept God's new path for me on that. And with those lessons, you know, bring a lot of things that I actually want to bring to Congress. And that's an understanding with recent and relevant experience on national security issues and defense issues and foreign affairs that we need to have in Congress to help our president. You can't just have talking points. And this is so important. It takes years and years of just classified briefings to understand how things work out there. Now, my last deployment was in Korea. That's a big issue these days. My one before that was working against the Iranian threat in the Persian Gulf. That's on the horizon. We need people to understand these who can assess programs, who can fight for the right ideas, because it's ever changing. It's not written down in the think tanks. You know, not just talking points. That's what I want to get at. And the other reason I'm here is because I have an intrinsic understanding, I think, what the American people are about and why they're so special. It's because there's an understanding among Americans that this country is great because of us and because of what we do for it, because we help each other, we put family first, and then it's community, and it's local government, and it's state government. We stick together and we help each other. And I think Houston really knows what that's about. You saw that after Hurricane Harvey. I saw it. As I was back home where I grew up in Katy, mucking out houses, and you really just, everybody was volunteering and said, "We've never seen anything like this before." It's not like this in Louisiana. It's not like this in Florida when we see these disasters. But Texans really know what it means to take care of yourself. We're self-sufficient, but we're not selfish. And you know, the big fear that I have is that we're losing that understanding. I'm not so sure that my generation and younger is really taking up those lessons. And that hurts me. And we need to teach them. You know, I think the greatest threat that's proposed by the left is the undercutting of our values and our traditions and our history. They see America as inherently flawed, and they're wrong. And as conservatives, we need to do a better job countering those messages. We need to do it with optimism and strength and perseverance and inspiration. Because if we lose that next generation, our values and our freedom is lost forever. And I took an oath to defend the Constitution from enemies, foreign and domestic. But that's changed a little bit. I'm also defending it from overtaxation and overregulation and federal overreach. We're defending our borders, defending our laws. We have to defend the idea that we have to enforce our own laws now. And as conservatives, we've got to stand up for those policies, those just common sense, good governance policies. We don't want a giant government doing everything for us. We don't always look to the federal government to solve every single problem. We want lower taxes. We just got that. Thank you. We want lower regulations. We're getting that. But Congress has got to take back its role in overseeing the regulators, the unelected bureaucrats, the fourth branch of government. It's a threat. And what do you expect? You give people a mission, you give them a job, you give them a mission, they're going to try and complete it. Like, that's what I do. It's not their fault. It's the system we created for them, and Congress advocated its role. We got to stand up for free market policies that drive down our health care costs. We're getting crushed. We got to stand up for policies that help fix the debt and tackle the main drivers of that debt. That's going to take courage, because it's hard. It's hard to take away entitlements. We're not taking them away, we got to fix them. We got to make them last. We got to stand up for securing the border. We're on the front lines in Texas. Nobody else in the country seems to realize that. But it's important to us here. But how do you stand up for those values? Well, in a word, it's positivity, it's vision. We forget sometimes what it means to have vision. I have a pretty good idea. Maybe a different idea. They say in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. There's a lot of blindness going on. You know, in the fog of kind of political rhetoric, I think we lose sight of that vision. You know, and we should talk about that. And that, because that's how you bring people to our side. It's inspiration, it's passion, it's showing love for one another, and it's our vision. I envision a country where we look out for each other, we look out for our community, where we help each other just like we did at Harvey. Envision a place where our taxes are well spent, and they're accountable, and we trust that our government is small and dynamic and worthwhile. And I envision a place with the best educated, hardest working, freest people on the planet. We work hard, and we know that our hard work and our education is going to prepare us for the right challenges and get us up that ladder. Our vision is one of country, it's love of one another, it's hard work, it's self-sacrifice, it's God, it's red, white, and blue, and it's America to the core. Damn it, it's patriotism. We don't have to be afraid of that word anymore. All right, how do we get to that vision? Well, in a word, it's leadership. We got to remember what leadership really means. It's not authority. It is not just one vote out of 435 in the U.S. House. If you think that's all you deserve, then it really doesn't matter who you vote for, because you probably get the vote. At least in my race, everybody's conservative, and a conservative is going to win. Well, I think the 2nd District deserves a heck of a lot more than that. You deserve a lion for your cause. You deserve a champion for conservative values. You deserve somebody who's going to ensure that those values are carried on in the next generation. So that's why I'm here. All right, not because I'm a politician. I mean, I'm going to be, so everybody's going to hate me. Now, I'm not rich. I can't self-fund my campaign. But I do care about Texas. I care about representing us the way we need to be represented. You got to give somebody, put somebody in Washington that you can be proud of, that you know has got your back no matter what. And that's why I'm here. And I hope to make you proud. And I hope to have your support. Thank you.
Lieutenant Commander, let me show you my support.
Thank you, sir.
tell you something. Anybody that's willing to go out and sacrifice like this man does, I have great respect for him, but now I have admiration for him because I believe he can be my leader.
Here's a little more for you. I believe that he earned that right to run. Most people that run for offices like this, I'm not even sure what their qualifications were. But you've earned this right, and I hope that story gets out for you. Love you.